Hi, I'm Lee Wedlake. This guitar in this showcase below me belonged to Ed Parker, and it was given to me back in the late 90s by Ed Parker Jr. when we had a camp down here in Fort Myers, Florida. And afterwards, Edmund pulled me aside and said, you know, I've got something for you. And what he gave me in the presence of my good friend and longtime student Steve White was this guitar, which belonged to his father. It was what Edmund said was one of his war geese or battle geese, because Mr. Parker liked to use a Takedo uniform that was a polyester blend. I had one too when I was coming up through the ranks, and they kept their color. And the old uniforms, the old cotton geese, have a tendency to fade out, and that's what one of these is. It's a kind of washed out gray battle geese that belonged to the old man, as we like to call him, and not as a term of disrespect. It's a term of affection. It's like what they use in the military. Around the waist of this uniform is a black belt that belonged to Huck Planus, and Huck had passed on to me his 5th degree, 6th degree, 7th, and 8th degree belts, which in the karate circles is kind of a sign of approval or a special stamp when you pass your belt down. Steve White had questioned Mr. Planus about that, and it turned out that one of the belts that Huck had given me had been given to him by Ed Parker. So when I called Huck, I said, which one is it? He said he didn't remember. So one of the 4 belts that I've got belonged to Ed Parker. I don't know if this one belonged to Mr. Parker or not, but it did belong to Huck, and you can see Huck had written his name in very small letters on the bottom of the red 5th degree brick on either end of the belt, which you'll be able to see in a close-up in a little bit. But this gi means a lot to me. It's given to me by a family member, and is a memory of a man that had a huge impact on my life. And I've been teaching his system for many, many years and plan to continue doing so. It's a very special item in my collection of Kempo memorabilia, and the fact that one of my higher ranking students was there and saw me receive that means a lot also. In fact, when I told one of my friends who's a yoga teacher that I had been given an item from my instructor's uniform collection, she immediately broke into tears because she knows what this sort of thing means when items of this sort are passed on. So I'm glad I was able to share this with you. It means a lot to me, and it gives you a little bit of a glimpse of some Kempo history.